Hello Pisces, it's April 2017. I'm Dadhichi. Thanks for joining me. For those of you that are new, welcome. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happening to your sun sign. Now, you may know your rising sign or your lunar sign. You can also apply some of these readings to those specific aspects of your horoscope. The important transit this month, we see, you've probably heard of the term Tantra or Tantra, if you're American, the study of spirituality through sexuality and physical intimacy. The full moon takes place in your horoscope on the 11th, and that's in your 8th house of sexuality and intimacy. It shows us that the spiritual planet Jupiter has been transiting there for some time, and therefore this is a perfect time for you leading up to the middle of the month to reconnect with your partner and to find that spiritual connectivity through physical means, through sexuality, through intimacy. Now that intimacy too, I love the word intimacy because it actually is into me see. I love that, don't you? It actually describes what intimacy means. It means looking into a person or allowing the other person to look into yourself. So apart from it being a physical thing, the physicality of our lovemaking is really more or less about allowing us to drop the masks, the walls, and to just vulnerably allow ourselves to be seen and to be accessed by another person. So that's an important transit this month. We see that happening in your 8th house, the sign of Libra, near Jupiter. The other important transit, which relates to this very same 8th house, is the ruler of the 8th house, Venus, in retrogression as the month starts. That means Venus is retrograde, and it moves back into your sun sign of Pisces. So here we see the intimate link between this tantric activity, this delving deeply into your sensuality and your sexuality and your spirituality, and linking all of these together, not divorcing them from each other as most people do. Most people sit down for an hour in the morning and say, I am meditating. Whereas everything should be a meditation, including your sexual relations. That is what Tantra Yoga is about. And that teaches us that the most everyday mundane activity should be a means of connecting with our higher spiritual selves. And that can happen this month. Yes, Pisces says. Go for it, enjoy. The transit of Venus back into the sun sign of Pisces will be significant too. That takes place on the 3rd. It will remain there for a while longer. And then on the 10th, we see the retrogression of Mercury, which is the planet ruling your marital life. So here we see, while Venus is retrogressing in your sun sign, Mercury will then retrogress on the 10th, which is your planet relating to marriage and relationships. So all of this stuff, the new moon, the retrogression of Venus, Mercury, has a lot to say about intimacy and breaking through that. Now, the difficulty you may have is if you're not feeling that intimacy. Good point, you say, huh? It's interesting that intimacy is intruded upon by thought, by memory, and by regrets, by shame, by apprehension, all of those human emotions. And a lot of it, mind you, if you think about it, especially the regrets, that's all to do with your past, going back in time and reminiscing and ruminating and getting stuck. So that, as I said to some of the other star signs this month, is the danger. The retrograde planets are always an opportunity to, review where you can improve things, where things may have gone wrong, but they're also a danger in that the pitfall is you fall prey to getting locked into the past and ruminating for rumination's sake, rather than using those opportunities as means to, identify the problem, acknowledge it, and then release it. Especially if it's something, an event or circumstance or person that you have no control over, and generally the past, we have no control, because the past is the past, it's dead. As my guru once said, it's like walking through a cemetery. Everything there is dead. You'll never revive anything in the cemetery. So your past is like that. Just let that go. Acknowledge it. Of course, you have to acknowledge that there's a problem, if there's a problem, and that's the only way you're going to solve it, resolve it, or eliminate it. It's one of those three. And they seem to be the themes for you this month. There is another retrogression taking place of your 12th Lord, spiritual planet Saturn, on the 6th, around the same time. So you've got a full sort of deck of retrograde planets here, including the karmic points, Jupiter in your 8th house, which we started the reading off with. So all of this is pointing to the past, cleaning that past off. Once these planets go direct, you've got a fresh spirit, clean slate, so to speak, and the opportunity to do great good. Mars is in your 3rd house. That's giving you great dynamic spirit. 3rd house is the house of valor and courage. Mars is a very friendly planet. It rules your 9th house. It also rules your 2nd house. 9th house and 2nd house, when they're connected, bring some luck. So as we know full well, luck is usually the effort you put in and just a coincidental overlap with some events in time. So the efforts you make right now are directly proportionate to the luck that you will reap from sowing the seeds right now. And we see Mars in that 3rd house. Gives you the opportunity to travel a lot, run around a lot. If there are deals you have to broker, you won't be lacking in any energy. In fact, you have to be a little bit careful. You're not traveling and seeming to be too busy and not actually getting anything done, which is why you have to plan your work very carefully this month. And then by all means, full steam ahead with Mars, but at least you're going to be constructive and you're going to be productive. And that's what I see there for you. Your ruling planet, well, there's 2 of them. There's Jupiter. It, as I've said, is still in retrogression. Neptune, we see, is not going to receive really any aspects this month. It's more to do with the moon, which we've talked about. The new moon taking place in that 3rd house on the 26th also has a lot to say about that Mars in the 3rd, the energy and the drive, the spirit of adventure and the courage that you have, that you muster up. So with these transits in mind, it looks to me pretty much like you're going to get a lot done as long as you can balance that Piscean idealism and desire to get stuck in the past and what coulda, shoulda, woulda mentality, and redirect it back into that Martian energy in your 3rd house of valor, courage, and self-confidence. You'll be fine. I hope you'll join me next month again. That comes to the end of your reading and the 12 signs. Don't forget to join me at astrology.com.au. There's a more detailed analysis for you for this month and indeed for the year ahead, 2017. Hope you enjoy it. Take care. See you here in May. Bye-bye now.